A high-ranking representative from Taiwan has agreed to pay for what a judge calls unfair business practices.
Last November, Shen Liu pleaded guilty to overworking and underpaying her two Filipino housekeepers. One housekeeper reported Liu kept her isolated and made her work 16 to 18-hour days. Lindsay Shively is live at the courthouse with the latest on this story. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning. And that time that Shen Liu spent in federal prison turns out to be the only time in jail she will have to spend. We found out just minutes ago that the judge in federal court decided to accept her plea agreement, which meant she was sentenced to time served. She also had to pay $80,000 restitution to the two victims, the two workers from the Philippines who served as her housekeeper at certain times. And she's also agreed to pay every dime the United States government has spent in this investigation, including the cost of her incarceration, which is about $5,000, a little less. Also the cost of deporting her back to Taiwan, as well as the agent from immigration that must travel with her. We heard testimony read from one of the victims today. It was really the first we'd heard from them. One of them said, "I felt tortured. Whenever I remember what she did to me, I break down." She says she stopped calling home when she realized her phone conversations were being recorded. She wasn't allowed to seek medical attention when she had a serious infection. And she said Shen Liu took her passport from her at one time and talked about severe verbal abuse as well and being withheld salary. She said she only received $450 per month instead of the promised over $1,200 per month that she was promised to receive. We also heard from the defendant in this case. She stood up in front of the judge and read a statement as well, talking about how extremely regretful for the people I have hurt, mistakes made and laws broken. She said, "I was wrong. I am so sorry. My guilty conscience for the rest of my life will keep reminding me I must be a better person." So she has 14 days to appeal this decision. But again, this is the plea agreement that she made with the U.S. attorneys in this situation. We did speak to a friend of hers that has long lived in Kansas City for decades and has known her well, described her as a very sweet and responsible person, and says a lot of this could be chalked up to fear of liability from immigration, as well as some cultural differences as well. We're going to hear from that friend coming up in the next half hour. For now, we're live in downtown Kansas City. Lindsay Shively, NBC Action News.